On today's video, I'm gonna show you how to decorate a beautiful lantern for spring. Keep watching. Hello everyone, I am Ramon. Welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because we're going to decorate a lantern for spring. This spring lantern is inspired by the centerpiece and wreath that I already showed you guys how to make in previous videos. If you have not seen them, I'm gonna link them down below so you can check them out. If you're new to this channel, I'm an interior designer, seasonal decorator, floral designer, and DIYer who wants to help you create something beautiful for your home. So please consider subscribing. And if you already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram so I can share your projects with everybody. All right, you guys, well, these are the materials we're gonna use for this lantern. So we're going to start with a beautiful bush of salmon peony from Walmart. We're gonna do also a bush of fox hollow in purple. I have some of the beautiful ranunculus also from Walmart. I'm going to include a leftover bundle of greeneries. These are various greens that I have from previous projects, but you could also use some of the greeneries you can find at your local craft store. For my mechanics, what I'm going to use is one of these clear dishes from the dollar store. They come 8 in a pack, we're gonna need one. Then also these round pieces of foam, they come 3 in a package at the dollar store. This is a recycled one. I just like to use recycled material so I can save myself a few dollars. We're gonna use a battery operated LED candle. I'm gonna include a little bit of Spanish moss, also found at the dollar store. And for my tools, I'm gonna go ahead and use my wire cutters, my scissors, as well as my hot glue gun that is preheating right now. And here's a secret, I like to use this white little dish that is made out of porcelain because when it drips, it doesn't stick to the porcelain, so it's really easy to clean up. And of course, I'm gonna use this beautiful lantern that I found at Walmart, and it is under $19, so I think it's a really good deal. All right, so now that we know the things that we're going to need, it's time to get started. All right, you guys, so the very first step we need to do to create this beautiful lantern is get our mechanics all ready for us. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue into this foam. And you have to be generous because we want it to really stick down. Once you put the hot glue, you wanna glue that into our little dish that is going to be going into our lantern. These are 6-inch little dishes. Once we have this foam glued into our little dish, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring some of this Spanish moss. And this is going to be perhaps the messiest part of it, but we have to cover it because you can see the lantern all the way around. So you make sure that you cover that foam. Now I would put pins on it, but for these occasions, since we're gonna put a lot of greenery into it, there is no need because the greenery will help you secure the Spanish moss into it. Let me bring the lantern back in and I'll be right back with you. All right, so the next step would be to put the little dish with our foam and our Spanish moss inside of your lantern. And keep in mind that we're going to put our candle in here, so we want to make sure that we kind of measure the height. If you can work with the candle in, that's perfect. However, I'm gonna take it out for a little bit so I can work on the floral. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring my greenery and I'll be right back with you. All right, you guys, as I told you, I have recycled all of this greenery, and what I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and just start inserting some of it into the foam, creating a visual floral arrangement. And you wanna go ahead and just pick through it. In this occasion, I'm gonna leave the lantern open, so I'm gonna go ahead and spill some of them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And these are ferns that fell off of one of the bushes that I have. So I just went ahead and kept them because I know that I'm gonna need them for some other projects. So I think that's good with our foam. Then we have these little pieces right here. What you need to do with these guys is just go ahead and clip them short. There is no need for them to be so tall. And you just wanna start greening. Greening is key, and there's always, like, you know, as I worked in a flower shop for many years, like I learned that flowers are the focal point, but there is no floral bouquet without greenery. So you have to make sure that you have a selection of greens. And I always like to say that I like to put 2 to 5 types of greenery per bouquet, because the more greenery styles you put in it, the more natural it looks to the eye. And especially for this type of garden arrangements, as you guys saw on the wreath, if you've seen the wreath, and then also the centerpiece, they are gonna match this lantern. There's all types of greeneries. All right, so far we've added some ferns into the arrangement. So now I'm gonna go in with a foliage that is a little bit bigger to kind of fill in. And keep in mind that there will be some florals. So we're just adding, like I said, a little touch. And because this arrangement is gonna be seen all the way around, you have to make sure that you face some of your foliages out. So that way when it's seen from around, it is perfectly balanced. So now I'm gonna go in with some type of boxwood. I have these 2 boxwoods right here. Once again, just clip them short. They don't need to be super tall. So I have that right there, and then I'm gonna clip this guy right here. And once again, just go ahead and place them all the way around. And as you guys can see, it really helps to cover up. So I'm gonna spin it around real quick to show you guys that you're seeing it from behind. So make sure that you go behind that fern and you add some greenery and poke it into the foam. So I'm gonna use that, and then I'm gonna use some of this boxwood right here. So far, so good. Then you rearrange your fern. As you guys can see, it looks really pretty just like that for summer. However, well, it's Ramon at home, so we're gonna go ahead and add some florals to it. And for that, I think I'm gonna add my candle. I'm gonna leave my candle inside so I know where to arrange the flowers. Let me get the flowers ready and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of my peonies all at once. You know, I like to do that. And then also I like to keep the stem because we use them for other projects. So always just put it to the side. Now these peonies are pretty long, so what I need to do is cut them very short. And if you have been following this series, then you know that I like to work in sets of 2s, 3s, and 1s. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 peony right here. And then, because they make better impact and bigger impact if they're grouped together than if they're just polka dotted into your bouquet. So I'm gonna add 2 right there. I'm gonna try and find the longest one that I can find, which should all be this one right here. And always just give them a little bend so they look a little bit more natural. And what I'm gonna do with the longest one, I'm gonna go all the way behind it, and I'm gonna go ahead and just poke it into my foam. So there's 2 right here, 1 up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 right here, and that's going to create the triangle that I always talk about in floral design. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this a little bit shorter, and I'm gonna add it right here into my foam. All right, so I have 2, 1, and 1, and that is creating our triangle shape that is giving perfect balance. Now with this one right here, you do want it to go down a little bit further, so I'm gonna take it out and clip a little bit of it because you don't want it to be at the same height of your focal point, which at this point is your candle. So you want to make sure that you measure them, and then you insert, and when you insert, it goes a little bit more down than your focal point, which is the candle. You always want your focal point to be the center stage. All right, so far so good. Then I have these cute little ranunculus, and these are actually left over from other projects. Now what I'm going to do with this one, because it is the tallest one, I am gonna go all the way behind the one that I already have, and I'm gonna go ahead and make this now the focal point. So we're gonna change the focal point from the candle to the flower. And I'm gonna make this one the tallest one. I'm trying to find my phone, there you go. So now my ranunculus, the focal point. And these I love because they come in these little bushes of 2s, 3s, and 1s already for you. And I want to explain something real quick. You see how these are botanically correct? When they grow outside, they already give you that depth that you are looking for. So when you make any floral arrangements, you want to insert your flowers taller and shorter so they graduate down, because that's how they grow in nature. So you want to mimic nature when you're making floral arrangements. All right, so I have 2 right here. So what I'm gonna go ahead is I'm gonna go ahead and give these guys a little bend, and I'm gonna create a set of 3 with this ranuncula right here, like that. And then I'm gonna add just 1 right here in the middle. So I'm gonna cut the littlest one. I'm gonna push his foliage, and then I'm gonna go ahead and insert right here. I'm gonna flip it my way so I can see where I'm inserting. Like that. So far so good. And then what I have is this fox hollow, and like I always tell you guys too, the flowers are pretty, but until you add the accent flower, The accent flower is what really adds all that dimension that we're looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut them all at once. And with this guy, I'm gonna go start with some short ones. What I want to do is I just wanna insert this fox hollow in between flowers, and that's what's gonna create a lot of the really depth that we're going for. But do make sure that you're going to your foam. There you go, so it stays in place. So go from one side to the next, Of course, take those pesky tags off. I'm gonna go over to this side. Now I'm gonna show you a trick because I really wish that I had a super long one, but I don't, so I'm gonna have to create one. There you go, perfect. I want a really tall one right here, and all I have is this guy right here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna create a longer stem, and the way I'm gonna do that is by adding a pick to it and taping it together. All right, you guys, so I do wanna show you this trick. So I have a long stem, but I want it to be longer so it stays taller. So what I like to do is I like to find these stakes at the local craft store. They come with a little wire, and then what you do is like you really tightly swirl it around, and now you have a longer stem. But you cannot just do that. You have to finish it some of this florist tape, and you can find this florist tape at any craft store. You can find it at Walmart or even at the dollar store. I've seen it. But the trick here is to keep pulling so it becomes tacky. So now that it's all covered, you have a longer stem, and you can still bend it because you have the wire on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this guy over here, and just make sure it goes into your foam, and voila, this is so pretty. What do you guys think? All right, you guys, so to finish off the lantern, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get some leftover greeneries that I had laying around. If you don't have any greeneries laying around, just go ahead and get the least expensive ones that you can get. That way we can create a swag for the top. And I just basically layer a few of them. I'm gonna zip tie them together with a zip tie. It is super easy and super fast. The easiest way I would say to make a swag is just with a zip tie. Then what we'll do is we'll cut the excess with our wire cutters like this. And I have pre-made a bow to match our centerpiece and our wreath. So basically just go ahead and tie your bow by spinning it around. And then what you do is you attach this guy right here to the lantern, to one of the handles of the lantern. It is, like I said, the easiest and fastest way to spruce up your lanterns. Oh, and never forget to dovetail the ends of your ribbon. That is a must. As you guys can see, creating your very own lantern for spring, it is super easy and very affordable, and I cannot wait to read your comments. So leave your comments down below and let me know what do you think about this look, and if you have seen the matching wreath and the centerpiece. I will link them out for you so you can catch up. All right, you guys, well, that's all I have for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share with a friend. If you guys want to see more lantern, leave me the hashtag lantern on the comment section below. And if you recreate any of these looks, follow me on Instagram so I can share your pictures with everybody. That's all I have for today. If you guys have not seen the matching centerpiece, I'm gonna link it up, or you can watch more videos right now. Thank you guys, and until next time, bye. It's going to be super fun. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to this channel, welcome, and if you're new to this channel, welcome, and if you are new to this channel, welcome, and I would really appreciate if you consider subscribing.